So one of the things we cover in our computer security class here at the library is creating strong passwords. With today being more of a digital age, most things that we log into or accounts that we create, we need also to create a password as well as a username, but that password is what keeps others from gaining access to your accounts. Most days, passwords are probably no more than a minimum of 8 or 10. Some places even want you to have a minimum of 12 characters for that password. With that being said, I do have a little list of things that I like using. When I create my own passwords, I try to do a 12 or 14 character password, depending on what your website or what your account, that's a bank or an email, they're going to tell you what they recommend. They might have a minimum of 8 characters for the password. You must have one number, one symbol, one upper, one lowercase letter. Maybe they do not allow symbols, so maybe it will just be you need a number, an uppercase, a lowercase. Just keep that in mind when you are creating an account for whatever website or application you're using. For me, I try to use one of each. I do not use words like password, user, admin, or even your own name. With that being said, I would not use my pet's name or maybe my favorite sport, or hobby, things like that somebody might know. I also avoid the number sequencing, like 1, 2, 3, 4, or using the same number multiple times in a row, or like all zeros, those things. And I do my best not to do obvious substitutions. With that being said, like the number sign or dollar sign, excuse me, for the S, or the @ sign for like the letter A. One way to make your passwords a little bit longer is trying to do a passphrase. A little bit easier to remember that password, but it's tailored more to something that's about you. So say you were born in July of 1979 and you enjoyed going out gardening, in your herb garden, if that was your flower garden, your regular garden, that just makes you joyful just to do that. You might create something like number 7 for your month, gardens, a pound sign, adding that special character. And then for me, using the last 2 of your birth year, and then just joyful and an exclamation point. So 7 gardens for me, 79 joyful. It's pretty easy to remember, and that's 23 characters long. So it's a fairly long, be really secure password because the longer the length, and it's something that's more tailored to you and what you can remember. If you needed to go down, say, to a lower, less characters, you couldn't go over 16 for characters in length on a password. You might just do that 7 gardens, pound sign, 79 joy, exclamation point. Again, this is all for you to use on your own, to make your own one for you. If that's just something that you're having a hard time doing, you can always go to the internet and, just go to Google and you could type in password generator and just choose. Looks like there's a Norton, there's this. We'll just go to the first one here. So for this password generator, it looks like you can go ahead and choose. So let's go ahead and we'll do a 14 character. We just want to include the first ones at the top there. And when you generate this one, it gives you a quite random password. Now, for me, I know I wouldn't be able to remember that one. They do sort of show here to where they've taken the first letter of things and made it with a common word. So, like E for egg, O for occupation. I still don't think I would really remember that. So that's why I try to do my own passphrase and use like words. You could always use a couple words like, reading is fun, and maybe have R and I and an F in your password. So again, these things, that's just something. Take your time, find out what best suits you. With that being said, for changing passwords, normally it's every 3 to 6 months. It depends on what your use is and your environment that you're using it in. If you're using it around many people, maybe in a workplace, you might change that password every month or maybe even every couple weeks. If you're just by yourself and this is a password to get in your computer, you might change it every 6 months if you don't have anybody around when you're typing that in. So it all depends on that criteria. I would say every 3 to 6 months would be your normal time to change the passwords. I hope this helped you out.